I'm using like a lot of this hydrogen peroxide, and I am going to show today is exactly 1 year since I did a record like these nano crystals, nano diamond worth several $1,000s, secretly implanted during the surgery in my right ear, and also these nano crystals that I have in my left ear. Now, to my astonishment, I just noticed using like this hydrogen peroxide, you know, there is a lot more. My whole like ear is wired. It's just like some type of nanowires and a lot of crystals that are coming out, and they're so hard that I took like this surgical kit I bought on Amazon, and I am taking like this stuff to try like to get it out, but it is very hard. It is just like a growing out of the skin, and it is exactly what one ENT doctor told me when I was in Acapulco. He was touching it, it was hard, and he said like it is growing out of the skin. And I started like yesterday evening to try to remove it, and also my right ear. So I'm going to show like what I have now on in my ears compared to the picture that I created like 1 year ago. I'm showing constantly this, like this is this nanowire. Obviously it is attached to my right ear. This is right ear. This is this nano diamond worth several $1,000s. I cannot take it out. I mean, I already paid one technology company to do physical analysis only. This is this nano radio that is here attached like to my left ear, developed by University Berkeley 11 years ago, 2007. This is like this clump of crystals in my left ear. This is also another like type of crystal, you know, that this is one otoscope that I had. It is different than this one that I have right now, but let's see what I have now. I created like all these pictures just just this morning actually. This is like this nano radio, this nano diamond. You can see like this like a wire, and I could even pull it a little bit like with this stuff. It is just extremely painful. This is blood. I mean, just like I am, of course I cannot go to the doctor, so I decided I will do this on my own if possible. This is like another wire that is like quite near here, like just another part of the ear. These are like a very hard like crystals that are like attached to the left ear. This is another crystal. I mean, this hydrogen peroxide 3% just brought to the surface all these like clumps on the crystals. To my astonishment, some of these like left at outside of my ear, and I was like in the bathroom, and I noticed here also on the outside of my ear there was like a nano diamond dust that was white, and I wanted to make picture, but then I put like a little bit of more of this, and it like washed it out. But now I have this everything very like hard, and I found here like one of these nano crystal. It was round, and it was like a white, like a grain of salt, and it is exactly so. You know, you see narrow grains that Elon Musk would like to push into brains of the people that would be merging with the brains. I had them glued on my skull, luckily, but 2007 first surgery when I think I had this like implanted with the syringe. I didn't know. I mean, I didn't have any idea about nanotechnology. And I remember at that point, like I received even one email stating something about nanotechnologies, but you know what, I was overwhelmed with the problems that I had at that point, so I didn't like research anything. And imagine now you have nanotechnology, you have like all this military technology, microwave, this and that. I am an analytics person, you know. That is not something even that I would like to learn a lot about. Now, in any case, I am just showing, despite how crazy the situation is, despite this all evidence, and despite this everything that I have, I cannot go to the doctor's office and say, hey, you see under microscope, I have this everything, please could you take it out, even surgical way. Why? Because of sheer fear. Because if I go there, who says that they are not going even to implant me something more advanced? Because this happened, the surgery 3 years ago. For 2 years, I didn't have any idea why I would be having problems. Finding nanotechnology is like a finding piece of hay in a haystack. I spent $30,000, 2 years of my life, going to 5 different countries to find this. Person who will be getting this implanted next will be having horror. I have horror of my life. But then next person will be not able to survive because they're improving technologies. For example, DARPA founded Brown University with I don't know how many millions of dollars to develop neurograins. Neurograins are already developed. Neurograins are very developed even 2007 because I know now that I for sure got them, like in my skull or on my skull, probably in my skull rather. And they're going just to improve this technology. That Neuralink, and I don't know, Elon Musk, this is already developed. Maybe Neuralink work with the government, who knows? So but this is like another part. It is about fear. I am afraid. And when I go to the doctor's office, when I say, hey, I have all these nanodiamonds implanted during the surgery, nobody wants to do anything, to touch it, to do anything with it, because they are afraid also. They could be losing like imagine if someone like from United States military or someone who is behind this like would call and say, hey, she's going to come, but you don't touch it. Especially here in Croatia. I mean, Croatia is corrupt to the bone. United States is also corrupt, but Croatia is corrupt to the bone. You know, it's just like a call like another person and say, hey, you know what, she's going to come. Especially because like a military also here is involved. Why? Because calling the Grabar Kitarovic, who was like a diplomat in the United States, I think that she is CIA girl, so to say. And interestingly enough, I can remember during the nightly torture, they would be using like these nanodiamonds, this all nanotechnology to torture me during the night. And she is involved, she's involved, and Department of Defense is also involved because they are working, collaborating with US military and creating their military robot. This is all used for creation of Sophia robot that has 15 clones, and one of the clones is social robot, military robot, and so on. I talked about this in my video, so if anyone would be interested, like he can go there and she can go there and see like what is going on here. I don't even think that people will understand right now. I'm just saying this is just a document about horrible, horrible crime that is done during this development of humanoid and robotization of people at the same time. And at one point that will be like very, very interesting because at some point, maybe in 40 years, some new president will be coming and say, oh, we apologize to these victims. Yes, you know, as Obama said, we tortured some folks. You know, Obama is behind this, everything. This is his baby. These projects are his babies. And what is happening now? How they try to scare me during the day. For example, I rented a car and this is 30 minutes drive from that city where I rented the car to this place. During that time, I met 4 ambulances. And I noticed last year, whenever I would be going like from this place, driving the car, ambulance would follow me. Whenever I would be coming back to this like place, ambulance will be coming just like at the same street, like meeting me there. So I just was like, this is not possible. You know, I always think like this is coincidence. Now, what is happening right now? I came to Croatia and they hypnotized. There is no hypnosis. This is huge, huge hypnosis in the United States. Here in Croatia, I don't have this part. They hypnotized. And what is happening? They cannot bring to the surface. That is very, very creepy concept. They cannot bring to the surface that someone they're working on my subconsciousness. These old robots that they are creating during the time while I'm sleeping, using exactly these technologies. What I have in my ears, this is the same as having cell phone. They know the frequencies of cell phone that they call cell phone. They give me orders. They involve me in some stuff. They give me orders like being in hypnosis. Do this, do that, and I am sleeping practically, and my brain is doing whatever they're asking the brain to do. So this is very, very creepy and very difficult to understand. But basically what they are doing nothing but working on my subconsciousness. And this subconscious part is then kind of detached from me. And why it is detached? Because this is not my experience. My experience, my subconscious, this is what I am doing during the day, and I am collecting this in my subconscious to maybe make a recall in similar situation, because this is my experience. This is the way I am learning and gathering like a life experience. This part I don't know anything practically about, because it is done during the night, but it is still part of my brain because they are using my brain. I mentioned that is like about ambulances. I said, for God's sake, why would I be afraid of ambulances? I can manage myself, which means following. They don't have any idea about my mental health. If I would show you now screaming that I recorded, I say this is the dongle for US military. That is wrong. Not all military is involved into this. This is the dongle for these psychopaths who are managing and being involved in this project. And this dongle about US military, I got like a recall when they hit me with all these possible frequencies and activated all sensors in my body, because I have like a Google tattoo, strangulation nanotechnology, neurograins, bodily sensors which are probably like nano radios, but they are like all over my body, so my body is flopping like US diplomats in Cuba. I remember later they might have been injected with these nano radios, and these nano radios are acting as biosensors, and that is the reason that they would be having this flopping sound. And I am implanted with everything possible. Now they are doing this torture during the night, and in April, end of April, they wanted to incapacitate me because they are now in hurry. They did main work. Now they want to actually transplant my consciousness to that robots, to robot Sophia. I am saying following. This is extremely, extremely dangerous. Extremely dangerous, because I know now what is going on. And actually I'm keeping this journal, in this and writing what is going on during the night. It's very interesting. I don't even read it. And this is from last year. I have one in United States and one I live here in Croatia. And when I came back, actually I wrote last summer that they are creating humanoid. I just didn't know which one. So I'm going to show, probably I will find it. Okay, you can see here, that is 10 June 2017, and this is how I'm about my mental health. There was a nano bucket, anti-nano device, nano bucket. It is developed by Tony Pantalaresco. He's a great guy. He has many useful tips. He's fighting nanotechnology. And I used nano bucket, anti-nano bucket, and I was able, I was in Master of Science in Marketing, and I was able to pass 2 exams. So actually I went that day to write exam, and I wrote the same night. In fact, they are programming humanoid, because I got the knowledge what they are programming. I just didn't know what they are programming, which type, who is that humanoid. In April, I would know that it's a Sophia robot. Why? Because when they hit me with those frequencies, I push my hands this way, turn to the left, turn to the right, turn to the left, and said, "Meet Sophia." Oh wow, imagine my astonishment, but I somehow captured. Now military tortured me horrible that night. I could see all people who were from military, because they created kind of top military robot. I don't know, I didn't have this memory recall completely, I should be taking hypnotherapy session. I'm not interested. I just would like to forget this and continue to live my life. Now I am just going to show you, actually, when I would be asking my subconscious how they tortured me that night. This is the video that I created. I say that could be dongle for these psychopaths from military who are creating this robot, catching professionals. I should have been at least senior manager or director in some company, based on my analytical skills and my experience and my expertise and my education. And what I am doing now, I am creating this video for YouTube. And watch now the screaming. That was happening that night. I said like, and you will see that I have like actually mud in my ears. I had mud on the top of my head to protect my head, because I had a huge neurograin here, like that acted as CPU, collecting all information from all these neurograins. I took kitchen knife, and I realized what I have. I took kitchen knife, actually small kitchen knife, and I scraped it off, and it is like, that was lifesaver. When I said like, they said to me, I had memory recall when army tortured me. Probably they teleport me to this torture site while I'm sleeping and training my brain. They have like this advanced technology, and they torture me in vivo, and it appears that I wanted to flee. And they said to me, this is military equipment, Blanca, you cannot run away from military. And then I could ask myself, like, for example, how they did torture me. Blanca will be tortured now, and this is the reaction, my reaction. And I mean, I'm stopping here because I am just actually...
I don't know what it is. Stop it!
And I said, like, stop it. I was extremely outraged, you know. And this is the reason why I would be going after every night to jump in my car, like a fine deserted place, and scream, because this is a scream therapy. They are torturing me so much during the night that I am constantly screaming. But this is nothing compared with what I had this night. Tonight, the torture was from the guy who handed me to the military, Paul Markovich, CEO Blue Shield of California. This is not anymore screaming, you know. This is this primordial sound, you know, when they torture you and you just like an animal, you know, this like a grating sound. This is very, very creepy, but you think following. This is the same as hypnotherapy. I am going to hypnotherapy session, and hypnotherapist is going to ask me questions, saying like, for example, what happened when you did do this, and I am just kind of sleeping. Not sleeping, but I could be dozing and so on. So this is the same. It is just that I need to do this on my own now, because why? It is very dangerous to go to hypnotherapist. I don't know who would it be. I schedule like appointment using my cell phone, and they're already calling that hypnotherapist saying, hey, do this, do that, do that. And this is like this knowledge they accumulated, MK Ultra, since Second World War, since they're like imported all these Nazi scientists who worked on Jews, and this is now in Jewish hands, this technology, and they know a lot about brain. They didn't share this knowledge. Okay, just let's see, like, what is Paul Markovich, like, what is the sound that I asked tonight, because I was tortured by Paul Markovich and his wife. That is what I got. That is the memory recall. So let's see. I have it like still on my voice recorder, like what I did do, because I knew immediately when I jumped out of the bed that I was horrible tortured. I had this memory when I jumped out of the bed, and that is all. And they disabled like audio here, like it has system failure, so I cannot like anymore listen to the sounds. And this one, Lenovo, that I bought, like the guy who installed Windows 7 did install everything but sound card, so I cannot like also analyze my files. Let's see like what is the torture tonight.
Now I'm going to have a recall of memories because I did wake up and jumped out of the bed. My back was hurting, and when my back is hurting, that means that they worked on the legs and spine actually. And now I am going to ask, because actually
okay, I'm not going to show how I'm asking what I'm doing here, because you know this is actually, I think that they put this in private mode. I would be placing like a videos, I would find them in private mode, and several people who watch this, there are actually these torturers, you know. So whenever I say something and they know how am I doing this, why? Because my laptop was stolen from Sacramento apartment and I had this type of the files. How I'm actually working on myself subconscious, like to get this memory recall. But this is like what I'm going to show now.
about it. It is not anymore screaming. It is just this primordial sound.
And that is it. I mean, this is primordial sound, and I have more. Actually, I was asking, like, did Paul Markovich work on me? Silence. Nothing. They trained me, my subconscious, when I asked this type of the question, not to answer anything. And, well, Paul Markovich, I really don't know what that guy was thinking and what he's still thinking, you know. Because I think that they don't understand, you know, that I am the boss of my body. They can do during the night whatever they want to do. Once I wake up, I don't have any type of the problems. I don't hear any type of the voice. I go with my dog whenever I want. I was like driving around. We had great time. But during the night, I cannot escape this. Because they have full access due to these radio cell phones practically in my ears. They have full access to me. Now I'm going to show actually sounds when the person is calling my name during the night. The more like, because I ask the questions. I mean, I question my subconscious and watch this, like watch this sound, hear this sound, how they tortured her. This is Paul Markovich. This is Paul Markovich. And you know what? I had memory recall like that night in April. And memory recall was following. I would lay on the bed and say like, what is Paul Markovich recall? And I would be like flopping with my hands and with my legs. I would say, I don't want. And I had journal from 2007 when I didn't have any idea what was going on, and constantly reporting abuse, sexual abuse. And I was in Lebec, Southern California, when I was like actually I did like wanted to escape, because now Elon Musk is creating his humanoid for Mars and again abusing me. And I was in Lebec there in Southern California, and I used tiger like this tiger cream, you know, that is like stinging, and somehow to fight, that is so disgusting, I have to tell, to fight this, like, because they sexually abuse me anally and make me obedient somehow during the night through this sexual abuse. I pushed, and somehow I got like a burning around my genitals, and I got memory recall of Paul Markovich, started to say, please don't, you know. I mean, I don't know. When I think of that guy, you know, that he is like a managing health of these Californians, I say always, my hair is growing to the sky from horror. This is video I created like in March 2017, when I didn't have like any knowledge of my implants. I mean, I had that knowledge. I realized that something is wrong after surgery, having this, everything after the surgery, but you know that is something connected to the surgery. And I am showing like how Air Force person is calling my name.
How it is done.
I am going to start.
Silicone earplugs and some earmuffs, and it worked like pretty much for one night, because you see, once they realize what I'm using, they just change like modality. I mean, you cannot fight billions of dollars. I mean, who can do this? Okay, this is the woman. My name is Blanca, and they obviously know my name. I thought like I'm just Jane Doe, like a guinea pig, but no, they know my name. Okay, let's listen.
And she's saying to me, she's talking to me. And here's like, okay, let's stop here. Okay, let's pick up this one. Okay, let's pick up this one. And I'm going to copy it here. And let's see. I mean, it's quite clear that she's saying like Blanca and so on, and she called me the whole night. I could hear her like calling me, and obviously I wanted to sleep. My brain wanted to sleep, and okay, and this is all here like in this file. This is more or less like she's talking to me and she's trying to wake me up. I mean, this is like are saying like really like, and she's telling me like she's talking with me. And again, like here, like this is like such long time. And okay, like this is this file. This is like the whole 1 hour and 9.
Okay, well, this was like when she calling me Blanca Whispers. Now I'm going to show another file. My sister's name is Ivana, and this is when the guy is brainwashing me with stating her name like during the night.
And then saying what, and it was like the whole story. Okay, good, fine. Have any idea what's going on? She's in very this place, so she lives in Europe. My family, I'm the only one here. Unfortunately, I came here. And then saying what, and it was like the whole story. Okay, good, fine.
Most interesting part, when I am actually trained during the night to be in love with Paul Markovich, I would be having like a voice, his vision of him, like photo of him that they would be sending me due these implants, and I would be asked to repeat, I love you.
Maybe 1 hour or so, and I could hear like a man's voice saying constantly, say it. Let's play this. Okay, from the beginning. And that's me saying I love you. I mean, they're conditioning me into saying I love you. And I said like, there was like this executive, health insurance executive company where I worked once, long time ago. And I was in loving feeling with him. Like I said, my gosh, but this person, like I am so like, he's a nice person. He likes me. Yeah.
I mean, this is clear. When I said like a healthcare insurance executive, I didn't even mention that point for Markovich because I didn't have physical evidence. I didn't have implants. I didn't have anything. So I didn't want to accuse someone. I knew that it was him, of course. But I said health insurance executives. Let's continue with these sounds.
Okay, let's take this out again. And I am going to... Yeah, fine. So I am going just to extract this. I mean, I never touch my original. I always have all original files that I ever recorded. I took this as a project, honestly. I mean, this is a sentence with intonation. Okay, I mean that's enough to understand like this is like a real conversation. I am
Okay, I mean, I just wanted to show, like, not only that I have physical evidence, not only that I have, like, entries, journal entries that I couldn't fake, even if I didn't understand what was going on, and I was writing this just, I don't know, to be able to try to help myself. I have voice recordings, and it is everything, you know, it is like a crazy world, that I cannot do anything. These people are continuing to torture me. Creations are fully collaborating. Paul Markovich, you can see, like, these screams during the night, and I have to act not only as psychologist. Okay, I have background in psychology. I studied psychology and even psychopathology of adults for 2 years at University of Zurich in Switzerland, and I know some stuff about psychology. So of course I knew scream therapy. I had to create for me scream therapy. I had to create for me like a therapy after the surgery 2007 when I was implanted. I didn't have any idea that I would be having implanted. I had now like to create for myself like kind of hypnotherapy session. I have to take like out this crystal somehow out of my ears because this is like the main problem. What happened yesterday actually was following. I said I went with my dog. I went like it's a little city here, like a very beautiful, maybe 1,000 people, you know. And I parked my car in front of the, let's see, like not police station, but it is just like some government institution. And I went like I left my bag, you know. And this is the bag. I just wanted to show like how impossible what is. And when I lock the door, I put like this into this pocket, outside pockets, my keys. So these keys are heavy. When they fall like down, it is impossible that I will be losing them. I came back to the car, you know, I left my bag, but